Hey guys, and welcome to my second RX 6600 XT review. And now today we're obviously, because of the title, going to be taking a look at the XFX Merc 308. But I have already reviewed the Strix model from Asus. Now, the reason why the Asus went first is because this is what AMD sent me, and because of NDAs, anything that the other company sent me, like the Merc, I wasn't allowed to publish for you guys until a day later. So the Asus, I was told, was going to be around 499 GBP. Now, I've only been given a dollar price for the XFX, and they said it should be around the 409 to 419 mark. Now, normally, hypothetical terms, you would then, because of exchange rates and stuff, you would think it would work out to be a bit cheaper in the UK, but I'm going to assume that it's going to be around that sort of price from dollars, but directly converted into pounds. And that's how I'm going to have to do it, because AMD haven't sent me any prices officially, haven't had anything other than the, like the manufacturer's prices, because I'm filming this when they are technically not available for sale yet. Although there have been a few price leaks, but because it's before NDA, it just makes life really complicated. But anyway, so the XFX. Compared to the Strix, they are very different. So the XFX has 3 fans, as you can see here, and it's a tiny little bit longer than the Strix, but it's also a bit narrower. So if you have a look at the XFX, it's kind of longer and thinner, whereas the Strix is shorter and fatter. I would say that the fan side of it, the Strix is definitely the louder of the two. I never test for it, but the Strix I heard, and the XFX I just didn't. Temperature-wise, there wasn't a great deal between them. The XFX did very well. It performed to a point where you have no worries with it. The cooler works very well and it stays quieter. Now, at that kind of level of temperatures, I would definitely prefer a quieter card over something that went down into the much lower temps that the Strix did, but it just seemed to be considerably noisier. The Strix has a little bit of RGB. The XFX doesn't. I would suggest that the XFX would fit within most people's systems, because it's only got white lights, and the red that's on it is part of the AMD branding anyway. I'm a red and white fan. I actually kind of like it. So at this present moment in time, the points that we are comparing are aesthetics and the fact that the hopefully the XFX is going to come in at least £80 cheaper, but we obviously don't know by the time it gets into retailers' hands and stuff like that. Now, the prices that the manufacturers suggest, and then by the time they've been imported, flown in, gone through distributors, obviously there is some wiggle room within prices, so I have to kind of go with the information that I have available at the time. But performance-wise, as you will see as the graphs start to pop up, there isn't anything really between them. The Asus was more often than not in front, but never by enough of a margin that you would consider the extra money to be a worthy purchase. They both use high-end components underneath. They're not the kind of like the cheap versions of the cards, although XFX are going to have one called the Swift 210, which should be very aggressive on price and come fairly close to the AMD suggested pricing for an entry-level card. But this one's got that more premium edge. It's got a better cooler. It's got better components underneath. It's got a nicer backplate. It's just a better feeling card overall than something that you could expect that would meet MSRP. Now, if it works out cheaper than the Strix, and with all due respect, they perform very, very similar, the only thing to decide really at that point is there going to be enough stock? So if in an ideal world, both cards are in stock, both cards are around the prices that you would expect. Sadly, with a very, very quick review, because I have tried to rattle this one out, because effectively what I've been trying to avoid saying from the start is, out of the two cards, based on the price and the very, very tiny difference in performance, I would suggest that the XFX is a better buy.